here in New York City is just 2 weeks away. It's become a national conversation. Joining us right now is a discussion about the mayoral race, the markets, the economy, and so much more. Pershing Square CEO Bill Ackman is here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You have been quite outspoken on X and elsewhere about this mayoral race. A lot of folks around the country looking at New York as a proxy for what the Democratic Party even looks like. You've been calling on Sliwa to get out of the race. You've been calling on all sorts of things to happen. Right now, in terms of where you think things actually are, based on what the numbers are, we've been looking at Polymarket and other things, and it seems like Zohran Mamdani is the clear favorite, not just the clear favorite, but that almost under any circumstance he's going to win at this point.
Remember, Polymarket is probability wins the election based on the facts that exist now. Probably accurate. However, if Sliwa were to say, I'm not going to run, right now the polls are the most recent poll is 44 Mamdani, 33 Cuomo, and 19 Sliwa. I've seen polls that say the Sliwa voters are going to vote 65% for Andrew, 7% other, and 25% won't vote, something like this. But if Sliwa voters vote for Andrew, Andrew wins. The key is Sliwa has to be out of the race.
And does Sliwa not only have to get out of the race, and we were looking at the front page of the New York Post this morning, which was also calling for that. Does he have to get out of the race and endorse
He doesn't have to enjoy. Look, I think the smartest thing he could do for his legacy is to say, look, I love New York. I care about this city. I've put a lot of energy in keeping this city safe. The polls, the facts just tell me I'm not going to win this time. I'm going to step aside. I'm going to rely on Andrew to take care of the city. I'm going to keep doing my job protecting New Yorkers, and I'm going to run in 4 years.
Yeah. Anytime you have billionaire going on TV, talking about a mayoral race, having a hard time saying that word. That's very interesting. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And why do I say that's interesting? One is because, well, it's not just him; it's several of them. A lot of billionaires speaking out, which is, I would say, unusual, especially for a state. I mean, obviously, it's New York, so can't take that for granted. And New York is, I would say, the home of capitalism itself. And we have a lot of wealthy people and a lot of capital in New York, right? You have this stock exchange there. You have, a lot of heavy real estate hitters that are just old money, right? But I think, in my opinion, Mandami, hopefully I said his name correctly, is he needs to. It sounds like he's going to pull it out at this point. I mean, it's pretty clear that he's going to pull it out. The issue is, I don't know that he's done a good job of actually saying what it is how he's going to get this stuff done. Like he's talking about a rent freeze. I, I own rental property, and the last thing I would want is a rent freeze. I'm not a billionaire by any stretch of the imagination, but when you set that type of precedence, like we already went through that in the pandemic, and quite honestly, it didn't make it easier. It made it harder. And in this state like New York, and more importantly, New York City, you don't have the supply. I think that I read something the other day that said New York City maybe has 1% of housing vacancy. That's extremely competitive. I mean, I can't even imagine what the rental rates must be there, because just that simple fact, supply and demand, right? So you got to walk a tightrope on that one to say a rent freeze when you have a very low vacancy. So the demand is there. Yeah, I don't know. But when you have billionaires speaking out, a lot of them, including the president, I'd be curious. Everything's all eyes on New York. This race is everything, because I think it's going to set a precedence for the future. I think if he does win, his policies that he comes out for New York City could be like a national kind of thing here, momentum. And if it works, oh my God, well, that's game, set, match. I mean, so typically New York, California set precedents for like most laws. right? The two big players. They usually set precedents. Um, so that's why it's very interesting to see how this race shapes up. But I'm going to continue to follow it. Let's see what else Bill has to say. But very interesting to have this many billionaires kind of like, they almost seem a little worried.
And then we'll build we'll have a gold statue of him in Times Square. And I know
Talking about
actually
putting gold
Guy offered to
statue
pay
down.
for a gold statue of him.
Let me ask you
Gold,
this.
by the way, it's gone up in value a
So
lot.
that's expensive.
Let me ask you this. We have had Cuomo on the broadcast. We've asked Zohran to come on. He has not come on yet.
There's a reason for that.
And there's an invitation that's still standing.
By the way,
watching.
Here's what you should do. You should go to the DSA website. It says the capitalist economic system is the cause of violence, unemployment, and a climate crisis, and poses an existential threat to life on Earth.
That's the Democratic Socialist.
That's the DSA, which is Zohran's policy. How can he come on CNBC?
So my question to you, though, is when you look at sort of the number 1, 2, and 3 issues that you have with him, and I am assuming that your vote for...
I would love to see Mamdani come on and actually sit down with Bill Ackman. That would be a must-see TV for me, to see that interaction. But I am curious to know what Mamdani hasn't done a good job of actually explaining how he intends to roll this out. Because if you're talking about no rent freezes, the thing about owning real estate, and if you own a home, you understand this, expenses go up, taxes go up. These cities put taxes on your property, and your tax bill goes up. Yes, the value of your property goes up, but values don't move that fast. They tend to creep up. Expenses when you have tenants and things like that, wear and tear on the home, their systems, your HVAC, heat, water heaters, all that stuff. It tends to just take a beating over time. So with those expenses and things getting harder to get, right? When you have people raising their prices because of the tariff expectation, that makes it more cost prohibitive to do certain things, and you have to raise rent and insurance. Oh my God, I was shocked at how much insurance has gone up as well. So you have all these different pressure points where you own real estate, and to put a cap or a freeze on how much you can charge when the demand is there. I'm not saying being unreasonable, but and New York is probably the worst example of this, because we know New York is its own world, because New York, San Francisco, its own animal, because it's just so expensive. I would even put LA in there, and Seattle as well. They're just unique markets that tend to just, you're going to pay top dollar. I'm going to wrap this video up, but I'll leave the link in the description in the comment. I'm curious to know what you guys think and what you think about this race, and if you paid attention to it at all. But please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Take care.